I think a coffee is in my future.
Yep, that's being communicated for sure. Is it raining? Smell the rain.
Yeah, this book I fear will break me.
Hi, book besties. If you're not a bestie, you're a bestie now. As you can tell by the title, it's going to be a this video ends when I find a 5-star read. If you are new here, this has been my only 5-star read. And I am going on about 20 books read this year, and only this one has spoke to me. I'm kind of in an internal conflict about maybe this is a 6-star read instead of a 5-star read. Because the other books haven't lived up to the hype, it's because that book wasn't a 6-star read. And there have been a couple books that I have been thinking about since I've finished them, and maybe I'll bump up the rating if it wasn't a 5-star. But I'm serious when it comes to 5-star reads. Like, I would not change a thing about it. And that's like throughout the book, you know? So I feel like 5-star reads as like I loved every single page. I'm going on a tangent, okay? And the tangent reason is because I feel like I have to justify the reason that the popular books I've read this year that I thought were going to be 5 stars actually weren't 5 stars, and every book has actually just disappointed me. So that's why I started this video. We're going to end this video when I find a 5-star read. I have a lot of contenders, that's for sure. First one being Abby Jimenez, Just for the Summer. Now, I just read Yours Truly last month, and I really loved it. It was almost a 5-star read because I did cry, but I did find myself a little bored, and I just felt like there was a little something missing. This one, however, I've heard nothing but better reviews about. Everyone's saying that this is her best book she's wrote. So we're going to test that theory. This is also Sarah Crowley's book pick of the month. I have a good chunk to read, and maybe I'll get a 5-star feeling. So I have a couple other books that I am anticipating to be 5 stars. This is actually my Kindle. Hi, Kindle. And then these are the remaining books of my TBR. Now, I don't think these are going to be 5-star reads, but these 3 might. I don't know why, but I actually have such high expectations for Mother-Daughter Murder Night. Let's go ahead and jump into this book. This is the good and bad thing about The Office, is that it gets so much sunlight, but it's only during the morning. So I'm gonna have to do this. My laptop is about to update, and I do need to work today. So as that updates, we're just gonna do the only thing that I think we should do, and that's read. I did not get far at all. I think I'm on page 24, chapter 3, but I'm really enjoying it. It's super, I think it's gonna be super cute, and I can tell that I'm gonna like it. So let's just continue. Also, the tabs that I have, aka my bookmark, kind of match the book like really well. See how the sun is gone? How nice, right? Update on this book. I am on page 31, so I did not get far at all. I have, however, started the audio book of Mother-Daughter Murder Night. I am currently 6% through. Yeah, I definitely am liking it. It's reading really easily. I know I'm listening to the audiobook, but so far so good. And I'm very curious to see. There are 3 people of interest. There is Lana is the grandmother, Beth is the daughter of Lana. There is Jacqueline, which is Beth's daughter. So I don't know. I'm excited. I think this is gonna be a quick, easy read. I did start this book because it is due in a couple days on Libby, and there is someone already in line, so I would not be able to extend the hold, because this was not a book that I was going to read after mystery murder books. I kind of wanted to switch it up with a romance, but I definitely want to take advantage of having the audiobook of this before it expires. So it wasn't on my docket, but I did want to read it anyway this month, and I do think this is an actual 5-star contender, so we will see. I figured I should give you an update since it's been a couple hours. I have read up to page 110, but it's good. I'm really enjoying it, and I'm curious to know more about the murder. Right now, I think it's just setting up outside characters and setting up for potential of who the murderer might be. Pretty good. So far, so good. I think it's sitting around a 3-star right now. Nothing too captivating, nothing too thrilling, but there is mystery, which I love. I'm so into audiobooks right now. So Abby Jimenez Just for the Summer is kind of just going a little bit slower for me. That's the update. I am so sorry to be checking in like this, but it is just past 9 o'clock and I am so tired. This is the progress I made today. And yeah, I read like 60 something percent. I'm really liking it. I don't know if it's a 5-star. I'm not getting those feelings, but I'm annotating it like crazy. I think it's kind of funny. I think the banter between Lana and Beth between Jax, and Jax between Lana, I think they're just so comical. So I'm really liking the trio's dynamic. We, I think, have our first true suspect in said murder of Mother-Daughter Murder Night. We have gotten that title in the book, and I love when authors put the titles in the books. So we have gotten that a couple times, and I love it. So I'm really enjoying it right now. I think it's like a 4.25. So far, so good. I probably will finish it tomorrow. I think tonight I am going to start Wild Love, just because I kind of want something on my Kindle, because I'm just so tired. I'm ready to go to bed, but for some reason, since this move, I can't find any of my book lights. So we're gonna have to go do that. It is the next day. If you can hear my laptop about to take off, it's because I need a new one, like badly. And I'm pretty sure I've talked about it in this exact video. So we're going to ignore it, okay? I did start Wild Love last night on Kindle, and I did not get far, like at all. I was so tired. I got 3% in. I just read the first chapter. So yeah, I think I just love Elsie Silver's writing and her small town country romances. I love it, but I think what I'm going to do right now, what my priority is, to finish Mother-Daughter Murder Night, because that is the book that I have the most progress on. There is someone waiting on Libby, so I do have to finish it. I am 65% through with the books. I also have Starling House, which I'm not really in the mood for, unfortunately. It says I have 4 hours left, so we will see if that is true. by Besties. It is the next day. And I've already filmed this clip, but I rambled for way too long, and it does not need to be that long. So, we're going to rehash my update from yesterday. I don't remember what page I was on for Just for the Summer, but I am on page 94. I do plan to get to this second tab, which is page 204, to catch up with the book club's reading pace. I'm loving this book so much, and I just have to say, I went down a rabbit hole of Abby Jimenez's Instagram, and I just have to say I have a newfound appreciation for her as just a person. She posted a video of her on Good Morning America about how she had hired multiple psychologists and experts to read this book to make sure that she was going about the trauma aspect in the less harmful way. And she, I think, was surprised at how much people are loving this book and how well they're taking it because of what she's done. So I think she deserves all the hype in the world. She's now my author, and I have been annotating it. The next book. Yeah. Miss Elsie Silver. Miss Elsie Silver. On chapter 4, page 33. So I'm not far at all, but I am loving her writing. It's like you jump back in time, kinda. Like when I read the Chestnut Spring series. She's cute. I like her. I'm reading. I am enjoying them. I'm reading them with my inner monologue, so it's taking me a little bit slower to read them. But that's fine, because I'm loving them. I did finish Mother-Daughter Murder Night, and I loved it. It wasn't a 5-star. This video's not over. But I loved it. And for this to be a debut novel by Nina Simon, I think is just amazing. I think if you do pick up this book, you need to read the acknowledgments and about the author. I read it beforehand, so I think that while reading it, I felt a little bit more sentimental towards it and more appreciative of the way she wrote the story. So she basically co-wrote it with her mom as just hope during a real health scare for her mom, and that kind of twines into the plot of the book. And so I don't know, I really love the dynamic between the three women, Lana, Beth, and Jax. The mystery aspect was a little slow for me. It wasn't thrilling, it wasn't suspenseful, and I thought that's kind of what I was going to get, but I'm not mad at it, you know. I think it was more so just of a character. What is the word that people use? I don't know. I loved Lana. She was by far my favorite. Oh, also, I am getting my master's degree in global sustainability, and so there was some topics about conservation, preservation, stewardship to the land, to the people, ocean, marine life, the slough, I think that's what it was. Sustainability, climate. So I really loved that aspect. I felt like all my worlds had combined because I did grow up on an island. And so I just think that this was super fun. It was a super lighthearted read. Like I said, the suspense aspect was just it wasn't there, you know. But I think Nina Simon needs to be so proud of this book, and I love her. I'm going to buy whatever book she comes out with next. I'm really happy that Reese picked this for a book club, so it did get the publicity. I love this book. I would definitely recommend if you want a mystery book. It's not suspenseful, it's not thrilling, at least I didn't think so. If you want a mystery book, highly recommend this one. And because I told you that I'm reading these too, you know, I'm just a slower reader. If I'm not immersive reading with an audiobook, I need an audiobook in my life. So I have decided I am going to start Starling House. I keep wanting to call it The Starling House, but it's Starling House, okay? Just a moment for this cover. I think it is so pretty. Also, please ignore my nails, okay? I plan on painting them today. The audiobook should only take me about 6-ish hours to read it, so I'm probably gonna finish this over the next 2 days, which is perfect because my loan is due in 4 days. I think Libby is just it kind of really gets me reading the books that I borrowed, because you know, you can sit there and you can renew the loan, and it's oh, sorry, someone's waiting. I'm I have to read it then, you know. And so that's what's gonna happen with this book. I think that this book is going to be a nice palette cleanser because it is a gothic fantasy. It also is just something that will break up these romances. Oh, considering that all books I've read so far in April have been mystery thriller, which I'm not mad at. Like, I did not think this was gonna be my mystery thriller era, but like, I need a romance. I'm sorry. Is this book a romance? I'm only on page 24, but it was hinted on like page 16. Is this a romance? Is this a subplot of romance? Because I love that. I love that. So I went on Goodreads and I looked it up, and lo and behold, there's genres right here, and it says fantasy. Horror kind of freaks me the fuck out. Gothic, romance. So like, is it a romance? Like, how much of this romance is actually going to come to fruition? I didn't know this was a potential romance, but the horror kind of freaks me out. Okay, I'm not mentally prepared for a horror. I don't like scary stuff. So like, what actually entails horror in a book? Also, this book has pictures. So pictures, right? And then I kind of like these like little thingamajigs. And then I like how the margins of the page is a little bit smaller on the chapter page. And then you'll be reading something and then there's a footnote. So like there's actually like a bibliography, I think. I like the end of the book, which I thought was fascinating. So far so good. I'm liking this book, but as soon as I saw the sprinkle of romance, I needed to pick up the camera, because if there's romance, the rating is gonna go higher for sure. I think a coffee is in my future. Y'all, I'm on page 61, and there is a argument over a winter coat. And what Arthur does is so cute. Okay, anyways, let's just say Arthur helps Opal get a coat. That was so fucking cute. I can't. OMG. I've made it this far through the book. I'm on page 93. And I am really enjoying this. I love the little sprinkle of romance and the like, I want to have her but I can't have her kind of thing. And Arthur keeps just getting cuter. Like, literally, he gets cuter. Because he just does like these small like acts of service for Opal, and I just think that is so wholesome. Because he's just like the broody, I don't deserve anyone, the outcast of the town, and finally he's like getting social interaction with Opal, and he's like taking care of her, and I think that is just so cute. I really like it. I really like the layout of this book. I'm liking the story of it. It's a nice surprise. Granted, I have this much left of it, but so far so good. Bestie. I I've reached literally the 50% mark, and I'm going to take a break from reading. I'm really liking it. I'm very surprised. I don't know why. I mean, obviously, book of the month never fails, but like, I don't know. I'm getting a little tired, so I'm gonna take a little bit of a brain break. Snack time. I'm on page 119, and I'm loving the book. He bought her a rose bush to plant instead of just getting her a bouquet of flowers so they wouldn't die. I love Justin. Babe, this guy Justin bought Emma an entire rose bush to plant instead of buying her a bouquet of flowers so they would never die. Yep, that's being irritated for sure. Whoa! Is it raining?
Maybe.
Smell the rain.
You smell it coming?
Mm-hmm. Hi besties, a couple of updates for you. This was such a pleasant surprise. I really did enjoy this. I loved the hints of romance. One of the 5-star ratings of this book I feel like kind of encapsulates the vibes the best. It says, what if we rotted in this old house together as a love language? This book is everything to me. I kind of feel like that's a perfect way to describe this book. That was kind of the vibes that I read a little bit as I was reading it once I realized that there was a subplot of romance. I enjoyed this book. I think it was like a 4.5 for me. I don't think it was anything more though. I felt like the story of the house was quite interesting, and when you're reading the last chapter or the epilogue, I think there are certain descriptions that tie back into just the format of this book that I thought was super cool. So I would definitely recommend it. It is considered a gothic fantasy, but I didn't think anything of it. Like, it has a subplot of horror as well. This wasn't scary at all, but I thought it was a perfect beginning, middle, and end to a story, if that makes sense. Like, I feel as though today's reading community only reads long duology fantasies, and so for this to just be a standalone, I really enjoyed it. The acknowledgements was so cute because she dedicated this book for her brothers, and then her husband, she goes, and Nick, who is my house and hearth, my foundation, and my four walls. I haven't been homesick since the day we met, my love. Wasn't that so cute? So I underlined it. So yeah, I definitely am interested to read more by Alex E. Harlow. A big update. Yeah, I think I might start this. Wish me luck. My book friends on my Bookstagram, Booksta, whatever, bought it, and then I was like, oh my gosh, I have this on my physical TBRs too, like, I want to read it, whatever. Well, now we're buddy reading it, and I'm not mad because I want to experience these things with someone. Also, my in real life reading best friend, she loves this duet, so I'm really excited to start it and just kind of connect with her on that level because she literally won't stop talking about how much she loves it. So there's that. And then this book, completely opposite. I have made decent progress. I think I am over the 50% mark now. I'm on page 242. I'm loving this book. Really enjoying it. I'm highlighting the heck out of it. I'm laughing out loud. Thank you, Abby Jimenez. I feel like this is probably the most contender of the 5-star reads, which is crazy. Because I have really strong feelings of The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo and Love in Other Words, but this one is doing it for me right now. Yeah, I want to say, like, it's not giving me the 5-star feeling, but, like, I'm literally laughing out loud and telling my boyfriend about the scenes that are making me laugh out loud. If you know the raccoon scene, then you know? Like, of course I'm going to love it. Okay, well, that is my update. I have finished a book. I really enjoyed it, pleasantly surprised, not a 5-star. Kind of putting a pin in Wild Love, okay? I'm just putting a pin in it, okay? Because I'm in between all different things right now, so. And I literally, when I tell you I started it, I don't think I finished the first chapter. Yep, I'm literally on chapter 1, so I literally am on page 7, so I don't have much to tell you about, other than the fact that her relationship with her mom kind of reminds me of something that I have in my real life. So yep, okay, those are my updates. Talk to you later. Also, look at my hoodie. I got it for Christmas. A book a day keeps the mental breakdown away, I think is what it says. Yeah, it's kind of the vibe right now. I'm kind of loving it. Okay, I'll talk to you later. besties. There is a fly in here and it's going to be the death of me. Okay, update. This one, Hunting Adeline. I am currently on chapter 4, really liking it. I have a feeling I'm gonna love the Shadow. I don't know his name yet, but in the story, he is the Shadow. What else? Abby Jimenez. I don't think I've read anything yet. I plan to finish this today. I'm on page 303, so I am on technically this week's reading. This book, the audiobook became available, and so I said, thank you, Libby. Let me add it to my library. And then I got a notification that someone is waiting in line for it. So the people waiting in line kind of dictates what I read off of Libby. So for example, right now, Love in Other Words has 2 people waiting, so that's most likely gonna be my next read. I have, since I spoke with you, finished this book, all 455 pages of it. I enjoyed it. It wasn't a 5-star, which is why I didn't really pick up the camera. I think that I am shocked that this series is a YA. To me, that is kind of mind-blowing. I think my favorite book is honestly the first one. I thought it was interesting how the things you don't even realize are unresolved in the first book are in this book, which I thought was super cool. So I was glad to see that this book kind of stemmed off of the last 2 books, more so the first book. I am Team Ravi and Pip all the way. I'm sad that their story is technically over. I thought the ending was accurate, I would say. Definitely did not see the plot twist. Pip is just a bad bitch, honestly, and yeah, I would definitely recommend this series, but I think it's sitting at like a 4.5 for me. So the books still on my TBR are these 3. Unfortunately Yours, which is probably going to be put on the back burner. 7 Husbands of Evelyn Hugo, I'm really wanting to read, and this is probably going to be my next read, is Hunting Adeline. Chapter 4, page 40. I have just over 100 pages of this book, so that I could easily finish today, but I'm kind of afraid. This book better not end how I think it's about to end. Done. All done, and tears were shed. Hi besties. Okay, a couple updates because it's been a few days, but I finished Just for the Summer by Abby Jimenez, and I really enjoyed it. Justin and I loved Emma, and I loved Maddie. Maddie had a really good character arc. In the beginning, I kind of like hated her, and then towards the end, I think the story went well for her and what she did for the plot. I think it was realistic to my life and my upbringing in a couple ways, not in a lot of ways. I loved Abby Jimenez including therapy and mental health and actually prioritizing yourself, even though it's hard to do so. So
I loved that message. I don't think it's a 5-star. Unfortunately, I really wanted it to, and at some points it did, but I think there was something missing for me. I mean, it's been a couple days and I've still thought about it, and I still don't think it's a 5-star. So maybe I can change my mind, but as of right now, no. There has been no progress on Hunting Adeline. There's been no progress on Wild Love, because after Just for the Summer, I had to do my final paper and I just really needed to focus on that, so there was no reading done. Lo and behold, that final paper is now submitted, so I'm treating myself and the rest of my day to reading 11 Other Words. This is on my TBR for this month. I so far am enjoying it. I have actually been listening to the audiobook, which is flying by the way. I'm listening to this book on 2 speed, but it doesn't feel rushed, and I'm already 147 pages into the book. Like, I'm literally about to finish this book in 2 hours. That's what the current audiobook says. So far, so good. I just love Christina Lauren's writing, and I am very curious to see how Macy goes about her current situation now that Elliot is back in his life. I think there have been some really cute quotes within this. I think this is going to be a forgettable read for me, though. Unfortunately, unless, I mean, hey, I still got a large part of the book, you know, but I'm enjoying it. I'm having a good time. So, Love in Other Words, Christina Lauren. Very excited to read this because I feel like it's one of those books that everyone's read. So I'm going to continue reading. I'm going to continue doing sprints on Discord, and my goal is to finish this book today. That is my goal. I finished my final paper. This is my reward. Okay, so I took a little break from reading, did some housekeeping around the apartment, and now this is what we're working with. We are listening to the audiobook, I'm getting some work done, and all is well, so I'll keep you updated. Hi friends! Okay, so I have made some progress on Haunting Adeline. And by some progress, I mean I am on page 54, so I think I've read 14 pages. I think because I've been reading like little increments of this story, it's hard for me to get into it, so I think I just need one solid reading session with this, and then I can enjoy it for what it is. Since then, I have started The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo. I am on page 60, and I am liking it. I'm interested to see why Evelyn chose Monique, I think is her name. I'm just going to sit here for a little bit and read. I am on The Second Husband, Don Adler, and I kind of love that we're going in each story of her husband, and I think that this book is going to be really enjoyed by me. I have my Bookly timer going on, and we're just going to read. I'm actually really risking this setup right now, but it's fine. Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo. 184. I'm really liking this. I love the I like the historical element of it. I like the then and now timeline. I enjoy switching perspectives between the interview and the flashback as to what actually happened with Evelyn Hugo. There's a specific and large part of this book that I did not know going into it. It's not necessarily a spoiler, but you are finding out who Evelyn Hugo's real true love was out of her 7 husbands. And that is just something I didn't know. It's not necessarily making the story better for me, but it's not making it worse. It's just, I don't know, I like to go into books as blind as possible, so that was something I did not foresee. I've just been listening to audiobook. I painted my nails. I also love books that will incorporate articles or something like that. But yeah, so far so good. I'm enjoying it. Definitely not a 5-star feeling, unfortunately. Oh my god. There's no way. What? Okay, I've just been doing house chores, apartment chores, whatever the fuck you want to call it. I have this much left. What Evelyn Hugo just revealed to Monique, I am shook to the fucking core, bro. I didn't even see the correlation. That's literally what it is. It's the reason why I think Evelyn Hugo chose Monique. And we have been led to assume it was because of Monique's talent. And although that is the case, there is a major plot twist you find out literally with this much left in the book. I am so shook right now. I know I keep saying that, but I'm so caught off guard. Done. Well, besties, I finished her. Not a 5-star. Sad to report, not a 5-star. I was a little touched at the very, very end between Monique and her mom. I was interested to know what happened. I loved the layout of the book where you literally went through each husband and her life with them and the lead up to the end with her next marriage and stuff. So I liked that. I liked the kind of historical fiction and stuff, but I don't know, I think it depicts a real world conflict that people of the LGBTQ plus community face, especially in the 50s, 60s, and 70s and 80s, and even now. So I think that was pretty spot on for this book, but I'm just disappointed. I'm disappointed. I really wanted this to be a 5-star, and it wasn't. Something was missing. And although literally the last, like, I was on page 360 out of 385, and that part literally shook me to the core, still can't get over it. I think the end wrapped up really well. So, I would recommend this book, but I don't know. Yeah, just, I think it's really cool that reading is so subjective, and I can understand the hype. Just, I'm not obsessed. Besties, so I'm outside, so if you hear noise, no you don't. My dog got an ear infection, so we are outside giving him medicine for his ears, and in the meantime, the directions say his ears need to dry before putting the medication, because we just flushed them, so that was a process. Not that you actually give a fuck, but we are going to set the focus timer for 20 minutes, and in the 20 minutes, I'm gonna read. Besties, how are you today? So we have some update on Haunting Adeline. I read about 40 pages-ish yesterday. I really am enjoying it now that I have finished The 7 Husbands of Evelyn Hugo. I am definitely wanting to binge this. I'm also buddy reading it with Brunette's Books 7 if you want to go ahead and give her a follow. She's so cutie, super understanding of me and my lack of reading. I have put in my marker in the physical copy of this book. If you have this copy from Barnes & Noble, this girl is heavy. Like, she is a brick. I feel like I'm giving opposite vibes, you know, like blue and pink cutie sweater, and then I'm holding this. Very interested to see where this is gonna go. Right now, Adeline, holy shit, I was like, what's the girl's name? Right now, Adeline is kind of in a weird situation, and this is the first time that the guy, I don't think we got his name yet, is contacting her. So, couple updates. I have a bookshelf. Anyways, hi guys, couple updates for you. My audiobook Hold on Libby for Dance of Thieves is actually due tomorrow, so I'm gonna try to finish this chunk. And when I say chunk, I mean this chunk today. The audiobook says I should have this read in like 3.5 hours, which is very manageable. So I am really liking it. I am annotating it. Also, love the map. I'm sorry. Page 412. That was the sweetest thing someone has probably ever said to another character in a book that I've read in a long time. And that's what I'll say without giving spoilers. But if you have this book, page 412, The scene that I'm currently reading, they are in New Orleans, and fun fact, I had just gone to New Orleans for the first time last month, and so it's kind of cool hearing them talk about, I just think it's kind of cool having been to the place that the current setting is in. So also, they were in St. Kitts, and I've also been to St. Kitts, so I'm just really relating to these places, and I'm having a great time. Okay, I am stopping for a little bit today. I have made it, according to the audiobook, 59%. I'm on chapter 22. And page 208, but I am really enjoying it. I love the past and present timelines. We just finished a past timeline, and I love seeing the dynamic of the women back then and then switching to present dynamic now. So far so good, but this is where I'm at right now, and I kind of like the cream and the red. It's definitely a vibe. Hi besties. So let me move my drink out of the way, or is that still gonna bother you? So yeah, that's gonna bother me. So yesterday I finished Killers of a Certain Age. I really enjoyed it. I don't think it's gonna be very memorable. Like, I had a good time, so I'm thinking it's like a 3.5. I did underline some really good quotes, and I loved like the underlying message of like women are badasses no matter what age they're at. I loved the dynamic of women friendship even after 40 plus years. So I did have a good time. I did finish it. Not a 5-star. I do have some exciting news though. I finally got the audiobook for this on Libby, and so I like need to read it because it's already been a couple of days, but I have a feeling that I'm going to absolutely binge this book. It's not long, so realistically I could probably finish this in 2 days, but I know that I'm gonna want to savor it. So I want to start a new reading vlog of reading the Magnolia Parks series. So I think I'm going to read these because I have the UK editions and I just don't want to touch them. They're stunning, perfect, and I have to leave them pristine. So I think I'm going to read the American version, maybe annotated, depending on how much I love it. Then I can maybe go into the UK version and make like pretty annotations. However, I'm like a perfectionist, and if it's not pretty, I'm going to hate myself that I ruined a perfectly naked book. So this will be starting probably today or tomorrow. So I actually can't put into words how excited I am to start this. Okay, I just needed to tell you because how exciting. I'm going to start the infamous Magnolia Parks series, and I could not be more excited. I just hope I enjoy it. You know, like I have the US version, I have the UK version. Hopefully I like this. Friends. It's been a while. I have been, honestly, I don't know if I'm in a slump or not. Like, I'm reading, but I'm not. I keep getting distracted when I'm reading, and I don't know if it's the book I'm reading or if it's just I'm in a slump. I don't know. There's a lot of things that it could be, but some updates. I have made a decent chunk into Haunting Adeline. I am on, I think, chapter 27. I think that chapter 26 is where the switch happens, at least for me, which you're a decent way through the book at that point, but I think this is the switch where the two main characters, I think, I don't know. I don't want to give too much away, but I think that's when the switch happens, or the switch for me at least happens. So really enjoying this. Very curious to see what the main conflict ends up being for this, because that we just got a glimpse of, and I love the whole mystery aspect during this whole book. I'm just like a mystery thriller kind of girly, so I love any books that kind of have like a mystery plot or plot point, and which this one has. So I'm really enjoying this one. Complete flip side. Let me just calm down for a second. I actually picked this book up this morning. I am on chapter 8, and I kid you not, I have annotated at least one thing on every single page. And like, you can't even like see all of my annotations, but like, there's one there. Like, and there's even stuff in the beginning. Yeah, this book I fear will break me, because I'm only on 66 out of like 430 pages, and I'm afraid. I'm afraid that I'm gonna be wrecked. But there's already been like one part where I'm like, literally what? But okay, pop off. Like, clearly you're millionaires, so whatever. I love the dual point of view, and I love the narration. Magnolia kind of keeps us, she addresses the reader, which I enjoy. I love when books do that, because it makes me like, oh, like, of course I wouldn't know that, because I'm only 50 pages into the book. So I love the way that Magnolia includes the reader. I just love when books do that. So I'm fearful that I'm gonna get my heart broken by this series. Definitely intrigued to see where this story goes. Completely two different current reads right now, but I'm enjoying them both. I'm really excited to see where this goes, starting on chapter 27. This one I've started, and I am scared because I'm obsessed with it this early on. So.
My dog is eating. I'm not apologizing for that. I am on page 405, chapter 63, and I have probably less than 30 pages left, and I don't want to finish it. I'm loving it. I genuinely have annotated so much. I'm concerned. Like every other page, there's like something. Yeah, definitely understand the hype for sure. Unpopular opinion, I like Tom. Okay, I feel like no one really talks about Tom. I'm going to pull out my cinnamon rolls, enjoy my coffee, and finish this book on this fine Sunday morning. A quick glimpse as to some of the clips I've taken for this video, and I have a feeling that it's gonna take a while to edit and upload. Not the point. I wanted to say I think it is really cool to watch kind of the apartment get furnished in this video. Before we started off like the bare minimum with the book wall, and now I have 2 beautiful shelves that I am obsessed with. I think it's kind of cool to see life change throughout the progression of this video because it's taken a long time. I think maybe 2 months in the making. So we'll see how it all comes together. I hope you guys enjoyed watching that part. And yeah, besties. Yeah. This is a 5-star. Like, I don't even have to think about it. It's a 5-star. I don't think I've ever annotated a book so heavily before in my entire life. I wish you could see how many annotations I actually did. Yeah, this book definitely, it didn't break my heart because I don't think that's yet in this series, but I just loved the words. It is so toxic, and it's not even about the toxicity. It's not even about the plot. It's about the way Jessa Hastings writes that made it such a great experience. So I feel like I have to, not have to, because I know I don't, but I do agree with the majority that loves this book, that it's beautiful. It's honestly beautiful lyrical writing, poetic writing, and that was my favorite part about it, was in the depth of the plot or conflict or whatever was happening. He would throw in like this beautiful quote, and I'm like, yeah, like that is so perfect. There were a couple tropes in this book that I didn't really know were in this. I love going into books a little blind, or as blind as possible, and so for a series to get so much love, I was curious
to see that this was actually the plot and how the story went. I would look up maybe some trigger warnings. That would be something you need, because there is some discussion and scenes of things that could be triggering. So I would maybe like to emphasize, if you do get triggered easily, maybe just to take a look at them. It was so cool to see the way Daisy Hates was intertwined into this story, and kind of her. I'm just really curious to see her point of view. It's kind of hard to know that I'm about to go into Daisy Hates and not continue where this left off. At the same time, I think it's going to be so much more rewarding to go into the next Magnolia Park knowing Daisy's point of view. It's so captivating, I think is the right word. Like, I could not put it down. I binged it. I listened to the audiobook, and I loved the audiobook because they have British accents. I thought it was just so intriguing listening to the British people speak, because then it really felt like, people compare it to Gossip Girl. I could maybe see how it's Gossip Girl-like. Unpopular opinion, I liked Tom, and I liked Tom in this story. I don't think that's a spoiler or anything. It's just no one really talks about him. I liked Tom. So, oh, and then another thing was, when you look up like the Magnolia Park's aesthetic, I liked seeing certain symbols, or like the symbolism of Bambi, of a willow tree, of the bee emoji. I thought that was really cool, was to finally understand why people use the bee emoji. So I'm glad it lived up to the hype, because I was really fearful of going into this book. I felt a little disheartened by really popular books such as The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo, Love in Other Words, Powerless. I just was really scared actually to go into this book knowing my disappointments from other hyped up books, and I'm so glad that it actually lived up to it, and I had a really good time reading this book. So I would recommend, I would try to go in as blind as possible, but if you do get triggered easily, then I would maybe look into some trigger warnings. I'm very excited to see Daisy Hates' perspective of this story. With a little bee emoji. 5-star. So excited to have another 5-star. This is my genuine second 5-star of the year. Just for the Summer is a high contender. I haven't read Funny Story yet. I haven't read Wild Love. Those are big contenders as well for 5 stars. But for now, The Order I've read, another 5-star. I am so intrigued. I'm predicting a 5-star read. We'll see, but I'm just so excited to finally end this video. If you've read this book and you don't know what else to say, leave an emoji that you think relates to it in any kind of way. Hopefully I understand the reference. If you liked this video, I encourage you to subscribe to my channel, and I hope to see you in my next video. Thank you. Bye.